Hello! It's been a long time since I've appeared on this channel, hasn't it? Actually, probably not that long, depends on what channel you're watching this on, because I think I'm dual uploading this to both my channel and Illusion. So, if you're watching from Illusion, long time no see. If you're watching from my channel, yes, this is not about Overwatch League, this is about Illusion. Hasn't been a while. We haven't talked about Illusion in a long while, so bear with me on this one. Anyway, yes, I'm back to talk all things the org. Right. First of all, there's been a lot going on recently. And a lot of it behind the scenes that not a lot of people, even some of the players, haven't really seen. So this is where I'm going to outline a lot of what's been going on and what is going to go on. Okay, so first of all, overview. Illusion currently consists of a grand total of 3 PS4/PS5 teams, 3 Xbox teams, and 4 PC teams going over the Z and Envision. And this means there's a lot to manage, and we've kind of expanded our management to an extent, and there's now PC management and stuff like that, so that everyone's sort of got someone to go to. That's my main aim with that, because I know that I can't do it all myself at this point. Illusion has got too big for that, surprisingly enough. There's over 200 people in the community server now. That's just kind of crazy. There's over 100 people just registered to the org as staff and players. That's just crazy when you think about it. Anyway, so I think what we want to do is we want to drag Illusion forward, and there's a lot of things that have been going on recently. Obviously, the elephant in the room is crossplay, and you know, because we have separate PlayStation and Xbox, that's something we're going to talk about in a second. However, first thing, I have been working on an entirely new branding package for Illusion. It's taken me a while, I'm not gonna lie, but you should see today this all roll out across all of the social medias, including this beautiful YouTube one, if you're watching on the Illusion Gaming channel. If you're not watching on the Illusion Gaming channel, then please go and take a look at that. I am aiming for that to get much more active in the future with scrims and matches of the teams posted on there, highlights, etc., team reveals, stuff like that. There's a lot of plans I want to put in the works. I just need also help to do that. That's something we'll go on to in later in this video as well. So then we come to the rebranding. Obviously, it falls into another category as well, and this is crossplay. A lot of people will be asking about crossplay and how it works. A lot of you PC guys may not understand how console leagues work and stuff like that, so I'm going to outline that now. Most, if not all, of the console leagues are enabling crossplay. So that means for the first time ever, the teams will be able to recruit players from either PlayStation or Xbox and play on the same teams. That changes the dynamic of a lot of things, simply because most, if not all, of the console environment and the leagues that were available were either your PS4 or your Xbox. It makes a substantial difference, right? There were some, like Fireball, which is what 3 of our teams compete in, that did both, but they didn't do it to the extent that some of our teams needed, so they weren't able to compete in that. So that's a little bit of an issue. But with the inclusion of crossplay, there's a lot of changes coming. The most influential league and the biggest league, CGL, is merging its stuff. Firewall will be enabling crossplay, although they still haven't finalized all the details on that, which I'm not gonna lie is a little bit annoying. So we have to now think about where we stand and what we want to do and how we want to go forward. And there's many different ways we could have done this. There are tons of different ways we could have done this. We have 6 console teams across many different tiers and obviously the different platforms. I could have halved the entire console roster. We could have made massive cuts and cut back on console and had 3 teams. I don't do that. Don't want to do that. Never intended to do that. Simply because that is completely unfair. And that's not something I don't think any org should do, considering the service and heart and love for the org that a lot of people have shown. So I think that would be completely unfair to just kind of dump on people like that. That's never the way we were ever going to do things. So that leads me to the other options. We either rebalance the teams and change them up to perhaps balance them NA-EU, for example. However, in Illusion, that's not quite the possible, because Illusion is much more EU than it is NA. X Tier 2, for example, is mixed, but X tier 3 is EU, and majority of M tier 3 is EU. So merging them teams would be an overload of EU. You'd have a team made up of 25 people. That's just not sustainable, and leagues literally won't allow you to register that many people. So that's not going to happen either. What our plan is, we are going to keep the teams as they are for their rosters. But that's for the rosters only. Now I come to what a lot of teasing's been about, and what a lot of people have either worked out by now, or have been thinking about, or have been wanting to know. So, we are retiring the Illusion X brand. We are also retiring the Illusion M brand. Both Extreme and Mystic will be gone. However, the teams will now be merged under a new branding format called Illusion Ion, or Illusion I. They will all get individual names. They will no longer be known as their tier-based names. So X tier 1 will become known as Illusion Ion Melodies. Illusion M tier 1 will become Illusion Ion Harmonies. Illusion X tier 2 will become Illusion Ion Revolution. Illusion Ion Revelation will be M tier 2. Illusion Ion Kinetics will be Illusion X tier 3. And Illusion Ion Dynamics will be Illusion M tier 3. They will all be under the Illusion I brand, but they will all have individual names. This means that we can bring the console platform a lot closer to each other. Currently they reside in separate servers. That's not going to happen anymore. They will be brought together. And we are going to bring the entirety of Illusion a lot closer together, actually. That's some plans that are in place. That's not going to happen right this second, but over the next week or so, players, please keep an eye on your announcements channels and stuff like that. That will be coming, and it will be announced and will be talked about very, very soon. I've got to finish some stuff in a certain server before I can actually fully get that started. Obviously, that means some changes. It means a complete different look for the console side of the org. Illusion Z will also be getting a slight rebrand, although be retaining its naming. It's still Illusion Z or Illusion Z Zodiac. It's still comprised of Eclipse, Lunar, and Solar. They are still fantastic teams, a lot of fun, and I still love them to bits, even though they may troll the flipping hell out of me. Or meme me, one or the other. They're fantastic teams. Solar is going to a tournament very, very soon that I believe, I think they'll do well in. I think they'll do well in that tournament, Solar. Not gonna lie. There's a lot of faith in Solar, and Solar are incredibly good, not gonna lie. They can beat teams well above their SR, and that's extremely impressive. They're a fantastic, fantastic band of players that have stuck together for so long. It's really impressive. It really is impressive for Solar. Luna is looking a slight different to what it used to, but again, is a fantastic team, and Eclipse also is looking slightly different to what it used to, but again, it's another fantastic team. That brings me on, obviously, to the outlier. That's Illusion Envision. Illusion Envision is currently still in its setup phase. It does have a manager. It has 3 players signed that you will see announced fairly soon, I hope. And it also has a registered coach now as well. It is scrimming very regularly, and there will be more news on Illusion Envision in the future. In terms of its Twitter, Illusion Envision is going to take over the entirety of the Twitter now, so Vision Twitter is going to change and be renamed to Envision Twitter. It's going to have a slightly different look again, but it's not too much and too different to what it already was, so there's not too much to write home about that. Z Twitter obviously will look a little bit different, but again, it's still what it was, nothing to scream and shout about, don't get me wrong. And then, obviously, X and M Twitters will be retired, and a new Twitter, Illusion I, will be born. It is available to follow now. It will be linked in the video description, no doubt, if I've done my job properly. Make sure you give that a follow. Also, tweets will go out on the retiring X and M Twitters to make sure you go and give that one a follow as well. All of the new stuff will be there. There will be updated stuff on the main Illusion Gaming Twitter as well, to obviously link you to all of these new socials and the new looks and stuff. If you're not already in Mists of Illusion, it is the community server. It is where you can talk to all of the players. They're all in there, and all will be in there. So I think that's an incredible place to just get closer to the actual org, because that's one thing I really, really, really want. I don't want this org to ever be cold. I don't ever want this org to be separate from its fan base. I also don't ever want the owners to be separate from the players. That is something that will never happen, because I won't see that. I won't let that happen. I don't believe that. That's not the way I've ever done my YouTube. That's not the way I've ever done Illusion, and that's not the way I ever intend. So that's what I will say. So make sure you follow the Eye on Twitter. Make sure you follow the Z Twitter if you haven't already, Illusion Gaming Twitter, etc. There's also more plans in place that I can talk about at a later date, hopefully, in regards to more new stuff, but I'm not going to go through that right now. I'm just going to tease you because I like doing that. Competitions update. So, Eclipse and Luna aren't currently in competition, but they are getting ready. Solar will be going into a competition this week alongside Illusion. Envision will also be going into a competition this week. It's very early stages for Envision. They are still not fully ready, but this is their first step into the wild, should we say. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Those will get streamed. Keep an eye on keep an eye on the socials to see when those streams go live. It is Spectral Esports League. So then we come to the console teams. X Tier 1, after a long, hard journey, are in the grand finals for Firewall Season 4 of Tier 1. That is a monumentous achievement that makes Firewall 2-time grand finalists for the Tier 1 league in Firewall in consecutive seasons. That is very impressive, and I wish Illusion X Tier 1, or now known as Illusion Ion Melodies, all the best in its grand final for that. I will be keeping a very close eye and cheering them on, and I hope we all will. Illusion X Tier 2, they did get knocked out of the... I'm going to keep referring, because that's what they were referred to as in the league. Illusion X Tier 2, they were knocked out of the the playoffs in Firewall. That is unfortunate, not going to lie. There are some changes coming to Illusion X Tier 2, some of the biggest changes that we've seen that team go through, so it will look quite a bit different maybe next season. We will see what happens with that. Keep an eye again on the socials for rosters and stuff like that. They will come out eventually once it's all finalized. None of the rosters are finalized for Season 5 of Firewall yet. Illusion X Tier 3 are in CGL. I wish them all the luck in the EU side of CGL. I believe it is going okay, and we will keep you updated on their progress as well. Moving over to the more PlayStation side of things, even though that's probably the last time I'm ever going to say that, Illusion M Tier 1 are currently in the building phase. Illusion M Tier 2 are in the building phase and nearly out of it, actually. They are doing very well in their scrims from what I've heard, and things are getting along nicely. That's exactly what we want to see, and I hope to give you more information on that team really, really soon. Illusion M Tier 3, again, another one of our grand finalists in Firewall this season for their respective Tier 3 league. Incredibly impressive. They went through some difficult times at the start of the season with some roster changes, but now they really pushed forward, and I'm incredibly proud. I'm incredibly proud to have. I mean, last season we had one grand finalist, and that was amazing. We didn't have as many teams as we have now. Now we have 2 grand finalists, and that's just amazing. Yes, Illusion M did get beaten in the grand final in the end by Zanity Esports. They are a fantastic team, and they completely deserve that. And Illusion M Tier 3 gave it their all, and I'm really proud of them. And I look forward to what they can do in Season 5, etc. We'll see what happens with that. But there are a lot of roster changes going on. If you're interested in playing for Illusion, then obviously make sure that you go to a Mist of Illusion. That's the best place to get into contact with whoever you want in terms of you need to contact. There will be inquiries channel in there as well, where you can also ask to put your details in there and see if we can get you a trial for any of the teams if they are looking for players. Because this is the time where especially the console teams are going to be looking for players. There are also PC teams looking for players. Eclipse is looking for a flex support and DPS, I believe. Solar is looking for a main support and an off tank. So, you know, if you're kind of around that 3,500 level, then you're looking at Solar. If you're around that 2,700 level or below, you're kind of looking at Eclipse. Luna's okay for now. They currently have a roster, which is really good. Envision is currently not recruiting too heavily. We have tryouts for all roles, and we also have 3 players already. So we are not recruiting too heavy for that right now. But do keep an eye, obviously, on all the socials and everything, and you will see plenty of that. And to be quite honest with the way it happens, there are a lot of servers on Discord where you can look for LFT, looking for player, looking for team, looking for stuff like that. And generally, every now and then, you will see Illusion around in one of those somewhere. Whether it's looking for player or looking for scrim or looking for ringer, something like that, you will see Illusion around in there somewhere. Whether that be Zed, Envision, or even one of the console teams. So, yeah, make sure you keep an eye on that. In terms, just covering the end of recruitment, I am also looking for staff, which is something I haven't done in a long time. Mainly, I would like, if anyone is interested in being social media managers. So if you want to manage, say, an Illusion Instagram account or an Illusion Twitter account, one of the Twitters, so I or Zed or the Illusion Gaming account, Envision is not going to be, I don't think I'm going to get a social media for that one because I think I'm going to handle that myself, not sure. We'll see what happens in the future with that. But if you're interested in being social media managers for the org, then get in touch with me. Whether that be via Discord, Twitter DMs, DM one of the team Twitters, DM my personal Twitter, DM me on Discord, DM, or just say, go to Mr. Illusion and ping me, honestly. Any way you can get in touch with me, just do it. And we'll take a look at getting you in, because I really want to expand the social media presence and the social media team I have, so that we can do more things like have more presence on Twitter, not just that, but also stream games. If you're interested in being a caster, you could also do that and stream games for Illusion. We can also make videos and montages and things like that. So all of the org gets its fair share of publicity and stuff like that. And I think it's only fair, because every single person in the org is fantastic. They are fantastic people, fantastic players. They make Illusion what it is. I don't make Illusion what it is. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone makes Illusion what it is. And that comes down from M tier 1 to Solar, to Envision, to me, to Mary, to Staff, to Yaladin, to LA Team Brainy, to there's so many people I could name. Dizzy, Halo. There are so many people I could name that have made an absolutely insane contribution to this org. And I couldn't be any more thankful to them for what they've done, and yeah, it makes Illusion what it is. It wouldn't be what it is without them. Not the admins, the management of the console side of things, the management of the PC side of things, mods, players, captains, co-captains. There's all sorts. Ringers even. Like, my goodness me, there are so many people I could thank. Hundreds, literally hundreds. So you've all got a very special place within the Illusion family, and yeah, there's not much more I can say to that. But I am gonna leave this video here. I think I covered everything. If not, I'd end up saying it somewhere else, probably. Keep an eye on all the Twitters, because they're going to become quite active with roster changes and stuff like that. So keep an eye on that. Make sure you join up with the Discords, the Mr. Illusion Discord, or even my own Discord, to make sure you keep up with things and keep an eye on what goes on. That is the first place you will see changes. Then also the Twitters, obviously, follow them. Twitch as well is also a thing to make sure you give a follow and keep an eye on. All the social medias are basically the place to go for anything related to Illusion. And if you're interested in any of the roles, being a player, or even being part of the social media presence of Illusion, then please get in touch with me via any of those platforms, and I would be very interested in speaking to you. Anyway, I will be leaving it here for this one. Thank you ever so much for joining for this little update on Illusion. And yeah, onwards and upwards. A lot of things in the planning, a lot of things we want to get right, we want to pop off, and we want to do it for everyone, especially for the fans. See you later.